Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important method, or you can say the hook function for Angular component lifecycle, that is afterRender. So this is another version, or you can say another function for the rendering functionality that comes as a special hooks for Angular lifecycle component. If you are referring the previously released learning material, then you might not see these two functions, which is after next render and after render, because this comes after Angular 17 version. Okay, but don't worry, we will cover everything that is updated, new and advanced. So in this session, we will discuss what is after render function and how it is different from after next render function, because in last session we discussed about after next render function. Therefore, I would like to suggest you, if you have not watched the previously released sessions, then please go and check out all the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use Angular after render function. Okay, so let's start the discussion with practical example. So the first thing is, like in last session what we discussed that whenever a screen is rendered with the content, at that time after next render function is called, but only one time. But here in this case of after render, this function is invoked every time whenever the screen is rendered with something new. So this is the main difference between after render function and after next render function. Okay, after next render function is called only one time, and after render function is called multiple time for every time the screen is rendered. Clear? Fine. Now let's see how we can create the example for this. So for demonstrate this thing, what you can do, you can create one component first. So just simply go on terminal, click on new terminal. From new terminal you can put all the required information to create the component, like ngGC, and component name is student. Okay, so once you hit this command, it will create a component with the name of student. So here we can see one student component is added, which include 4 files. Okay, now once it is added, now it's time to connect this function with this is not function, this is a component. Once this component is added, you can connect this component with app component. How? Just simply go to this student.component.ts file. From here, just simply copy the selector part, and once it is copied, you are good to go for app.component.ts file. Here we are supposed to register this component. So to register this, you can simply write here in import section student component. So once you add this thing, it will automatically add this line in your code. Okay, so by doing this, we are just doing the registration for our component. Now component is registered, so you can simply go to app.component.html file, where we can use the component selector as a tag. So what this line will do, it will add your student component to app component. But here you can see on line number 9, I have already added this thing with some extra information. I'll tell you what is this extra information. Okay, but without this, you can see it is just a tag. Okay, fine. So now we have registered and we have connected the application. Now it's time to perform the example. So here what we will do, we will create one input field where user can put the value that he wants to accept as a title. Okay, so what we did here, we just added type as text, ng model for two-way data binding, changed title, and also we will put one placeholder here. So in placeholder we will write what? We will write enter title. Okay, so this is just for screen purpose. So once users see this field, what they will do, they will put the title which they want on a screen. Now once user has provided this thing, although like we are doing two-way data binding, but still there should be one button. Once user click that button, it should change the title. So here we are binding it with click event. So click change title. So what this button will do, once user click on this button, it will change the title. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here basically what we are doing, we are firstly assigning the title as my first project. Then we have declared one variable with name changed title, okay. And then there is one function. What this function is mainly do, it is assigning the change title, which is an input field, to change the title. Okay, so don't get confused because we have kept everything as same, right? So whatever the value currently present in change title will be assigned to this, and then we are sending it to the student component. But again, like, it is up to you, like if you want to change the flow, if you want to change something, you can change it. But here I'm just demonstrating you like how we have changed this value. So once this value is changed, although like we can do one more thing here, like we can also change the title, because the main thing is regarding the title itself. Okay, so let's do one change here. Here we will put title, okay, and in app.component.html we will put the title here, not the change title. Fine. So here also, like, we will use this title. So whatever the value, once you, okay, so suppose user put something on this field. I think we should keep this as change title, and here we can make it as title. So once user put something on change title and click on this button, it will go to app.component.ts file. What this app.component.ts file will do, it will put the title as changed title. Okay, clear? Now here let me change it. Go to app.component.ts. So here we need to write, here we have just declared it, okay, and here in app.component.html we are just sending the data. Okay, we can leave it as it is, no problem. And then in the student component.ts file, what we are doing, we are just simply receiving the value. So with input decorator, we are receiving the value title from parent, and then we have declared the function that we want to test, which is after next render. It will print this message, after next render is called, and after render is called. Okay, remember one thing, this function should be inside a constructor, or either in a constructor or in a ng on init, because it is called from there only. Okay, so we have make it ready. Now it's time to print this thing. So here I'm just printing it, title from the parent. So let's verify all these things. Let's go to new component, new terminal. Here we will write gc and not gc, ng serve -- open and enter. It will take few seconds, and then it will open the browser for us, where we can test all these things. Okay, so browser is open. Now you can see, firstly, like Angular after next render is called for the very first time when the screen is rendered. So screen is rendered, that means it should be called. And right now you can see title received is my project, my first project. So let's go on inspect, click on console, and here we can see the message after next render is called. Again after render is called, and again after render is called. Why? Because whenever there is something rendered, it doesn't matter if it is first time or multiple time, even for the first time it is called. Okay, and when this value is assigned to this title received, then also it is called. Now here I want to show you one interesting thing. Like you can easily see that after next render is called only one time, but after render is called multiple time. Even if I write something in this field, and we are using two-way data binding, right? So the moment when I write something here, it will automatically call this after render function. Let me show you. So here I will put the title of let's say text Sharmit. So I'll write T, one time it is called, ECH space SHARMA, not SHARMIT. So you can see it is called 20 times. Why? Because whenever we are doing any changes here, it is considered as a screen render, and then that's why like it is calling this function. And the moment when you click on this change title, again it is called again it is called, again it is called. Okay, so this is how we can find out like how the difference between after next render and after render function. So these are the all things through which these are the things that you can perform and through which we can find out how the things are working. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.